Y'all, it's almost pumpkin spice latte season, which means there's only a finite amount of days before barbecue season is over with. So what y'all cooking this weekend? I hope it's some barbecue. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. With all due respect, this is your boy BK, aka B Season on IG, aka Chef Boyard BK, aka what y'all cooking over there. I hope it's some barbecue, and that's what we talking about on this episode. Barbecue hacks that we are seeing on YouTube. There's always some sort of hack these days that are super popular as it pertains to cooking, as it pertains to the DIY movement, the do-it-yourself movement. So I saw this video. It's 9 amazing barbecue hacks you need to try. So we're going to give it a shot and see what they're talking about. And along the way, we're going to be giving you guys some pro tips, some exclusives every now and again. Let's bring it right on up.
Exclusive.
The player way.
Exclusive.
To make sure that y'all are absolutely cooking everything right.
The player way.
That's right. So with no further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's make sure it's muted because we want no copyright problems. And play. All right, so let's take a look at it. All right, so that looks like that's hack number 1 on making kebabs. Coke bottle, 2-liter Coke bottle. Putting the hamburger meat in there. Okay, so it says kebabs. What this is actually a shortcut to do a dish called kefta. It's seen more in Mediterranean cooking. So it's like ground beef made into a kebab. So yeah, I guess that's kind of cool. That's pretty self-explanatory. The only thing with that last one, we're going to pause it for a second because I've actually tried to do something similar to that before. When you're doing that, and let's take it back to the kebabs. When you're making kefta, is what this is called, you see it's got that stick in there. One thing that you want to make sure you do with your kefta is if you're going to put it on the grill like that, something that they don't tell you, that they should tell you in this hack, is those wooden skewers. You see how right over here, let's get my cursor over here. You see right over here, see how that's burning? That's because most likely they did not soak those sticks before they put them on the grill. So more important than putting the hamburger meat on the stick is you need to actually make sure you soak those for a considerable amount of time, because water can't be burned. It'll only evaporate. It's actually going to protect that stick from getting singed like that. So make sure you put a good bit of water on the stick to make sure that you're good to go there. So, and then, don't worry about the fact that there's going to be water in the stick on where you're putting the meat on, because that heat on the end is going to dry that stick out, and that moisture is going to eventually go to the outsides of that stick. So don't worry about the moisture inside. It'll be done just right. And then before you put those on the grill, they make it seem like that hamburger meat, that lamb or whatever you're using is going to be that ground lamb. Like that's going to just easily stay on there like that. It's not. What you're probably also going to want to do is put that in the freezer for a little bit so that that fat can start to harden a little bit, at least for, I'd say, a solid 30 minutes to an hour, just to harden them up. And then what's cool about it is then the outside of that will singe really well, but the inside of it will cook and stay somewhat moist. And even if you kind of take it and put it on that second rack when you finish cooking it, just to let the inside of it continue to finish, it'll be fine. But the best pro tip of it all, don't use wooden skewers. You can skip the step about the water. If you use metal skewers, then that outside of that metal that sticks out will heat up, and it'll also help heat up the inside of that too. So skip the wooden skewers, go on with some metal skewers, and you're good to go there. But kefta is what this dish is called. A really good dish to make. You'll enjoy it absolutely. So let's move on to the next hack. Look, it had some sort of thing with a banana going on, so let's go on there. So what's with the banana? Let's see what you got going on here. All right, so you split a banana, open in the middle, put chocolate pieces in the middle, marshmallow pieces in the middle. All right, so already, here we go. I thought we was talking about barbecue hacks. What's with the banana s'mores, bro? Really? That's so disappointing. Of all the things that they can give you, we skipping that one. I'm not even gonna give a pro tip on that. Banana s'mores, lemon slices on salmon. I don't like that one too much either. Let's go back to that one real quick. So their tip on the last one, oh, that's gonna be a little fire starter tip. Okay, that one actually might be kind of good. So we're gonna go back to this one right here. So this is cooking salmon on the grill. So using lemon slices to stop the fish from sticking. Here's the deal. Look at the grill. That grill is dry. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit bigger so y'all can see that. Look how ashy that grill looks. You can help a lot by just putting some oil on the grill itself, or making sure you're using a cast iron grill and not that cheap wire rack stuff. Anything that you put on a hot cast iron grill, if you do it the right way, as that food cooks, it's going to stick at first, but as you get the proper grill lines in there, because you want it to stick to get the grill lines, it'll eventually let go of that protein if you do it the right way. But yeah, you could also just spray some. They have grilling pan now that you could just put on your grill, and that'll give it some nonstick as well. Putting the lemons on there, I just think is not a great idea. One, it's going to inhibit the heat getting to the fish, and you're not going to get any grill lines. And that's the whole point of cooking on the grill. So I would say flag on the play on that one. Skip the lemons, or if you're really that worried about the fish getting sticky to it, get you a cedar plank, get you a salt plank. Yeah, put the pro tips right now. I'm about to give y'all exclusive. Go on Amazon. Go on Amazon real quick. Get you a cedar plank or get you a salt plank. A salt plank doesn't. It sounds like it's gonna make your food salty. It really doesn't give much salt, but it will give it a little bit of flavor. But yeah, do something like that if you're just really all that worried about it. And you can do it that way, or even like a pizza stone, a small pizza stone will work as well. Ceramic tile, something like that. But yeah, I don't know about all this. To me, if you're really that worried about getting fish sticking to the grill, just don't grill it. Pan sear it in some olive oil, not extra virgin olive oil, because extra virgin olive oil has a low smoke point. So extra virgin olive oil is for putting on salads and stuff like that. It's not for putting inside you don't use extra virgin olive oil to like pan sear eggs or pan fry eggs or pan sear steak or something like that. That burns. Extra virgin burns real quick. Use regular olive oil if you're going to do that. It has a much higher smoke point and all that. But just pan sear your fish with some lemon and it'll taste a whole lot better. It'll be crispy. It'll be just fine. I think grilling is great and all, but only if you can really put it on there for a considerable amount of time. Fish is not going to be able to be on there long enough to really get that grill flavor you want unless you use a cedar plank or salt plank. So you heard it here. That's my tip on the fish. So this one is debunked right there. Let's see. I promise I was not intending to watch this video and debunk everything. Hopefully there'll be some really good ones on here. All right. So getting on past that one. This video is moving quick though. That's one plus to this. All right, now this is a good tip: is taking the eggs out of a 6 carton or cutting the carton in half. If you have actually one of the paper egg crates, don't do this with styrofoam. Do this with the paper ones. This will work really well. It will work as a fire starter. You still may have to put a fire starter in there, but it's a good idea. Definitely let everything work its way out. But yeah, it's a great way to also get rid of trash. So I'm definitely really good about that one. That's a good tip right there. I mean, butter just tastes good. This is a good tip. I'm cool with this one. I'm definitely cool with this one. Good with the butter to finish on there. No problem. All right. On your burgers. Butter burgers are just amazing. Yeah, again, this is not a bad idea. Speedy kebabs. Ooh, speedies are really good. What's funny is they called those speedy kebabs, but there actually is a upstate New York, like up north, I think it's might be Polish in its or origin. But there really is a kebab recipe called Speedies. It's spelled Speidies. Rachel, forgive me, or the Purgles, y'all forgive me if I misspelled that. But Speedies are a kebab recipe, and it has a very specific vinegary type of marinade to it. It's really good. I highly recommend, if you are really into chicken kebabs, look up Speedy marinade on Amazon. I'm sure you can buy some on Speedy, S-P-I-E. I think it's Speidies. Speedy marinade. And it's either IE or EI. But anyway, it's good, is my point. The main thing with Speedies is don't over marinate them. Don't spirit marinate them too long, because there is some acidity, some citrus in that marinade. So don't, there's some acidity in there. So I don't know if it's from citrus or if it's from just the vinegar or whatever, but don't overdo the marinade, because you can actually start to cook your Speedies and they'll actually be kind of dry and vinegary. You know, there is a good period of time to marinate that. Read the label on the back of there. But if you want speedy chicken kebabs, get you some Speedy marinade. And then definitely, again, if you can help it, skip the skewers that are made out of wood. If you're going to get wooden skewers, get the really nice thick ones, because these, one thing they never show you is the burning aspect of cooking kebabs. The kebabs will burn. You'll be having a speed race to, beat the clock with the wooden skewers. The cheap ones, if you don't, put them in water for long enough. And then the other thing too is chicken, you have to get to a much higher temperature internally than ground beef. So a ground beef, I think, is only like 130 degrees, 140 degrees if you want it to be somewhat medium in the middle. But with chicken, it's like 160 to 170. So you want to be careful with that. So you really want to make sure that you got a skewer that's going to last a while there. So make sure you really invest something in your skewers, invest some time, if nothing more than just to soak them, if you can't get the really nice hearty skewers for your hearty barbecue hack. So there you go with that one. Let's move along to the next hack. Got something going on with the Ziploc bag here. So we got some chicken wings in here, some seasonings. I like the amount of seasoning that's on that. Barbecue rubbing bag prevents mess, of course. Okay. Yeah, we all saw that on the fried chicken recipe. I showed y'all that hack already. All right. Brownies. Okay, so what they're going to do is a lot of people don't realize that you can bake on your grill itself. Rachel and I do this a lot. Baking on the grill is really awesome, especially if you're at the end of cooking. Definitely, let me pause this for a second. Onion makes the perfect grill cleaner. Okay, they're about to be on the BS again. Yeah, onion is also good to just eat. We can just eat the onion. We don't have to waste the onion on clean the grill. But anyway, I digress. Going back to baking on the grill. Yeah, I mean, baking on the grill is a great idea. I don't know why people don't think of their grill first. When you have to bake in your oven, you got to get your oven to about 400 degrees for most baked recipes, even at the minimum 350 for a lot of stuff. But you got to go between 350 and 450 degrees when you're trying to bake in a lot of cases. Your grill can get there like that. I mean, get there in no time. And a lot of people don't think about putting things out on the grill. Could it potentially have a bit of a wood fire taste? Yeah. But I mean, if you're used to camping, you love that flavor. And if you don't love that flavor, you'll get used to it. Just the industrious aspect of being able to really use you spend a lot of money on your charcoal and your fire starters and the grill itself to really be able to get your investment out of it every summer. I mean, Rachel and I on the weekends in the summertime, and even during, the week when, especially due to the situation the world's been in as of late, we've been home a lot more. get out there in the sun, get outside, bake out there and really, take advantage of having this resource that's going to save you some electricity and save you some natural gas on the inside. So absolutely, that's a huge pro tip. If you got a dessert or something baked item, most grills have a temperature gauge on it. If not, get you a temperature gauge and bake right out there. Have control aspect of that. Enjoy being outside. Enjoy your investment in your grill. And that's absolutely the best way to make dessert and baked goods.
The player way.
Let's move on to the next one, man. That's a good one. To me, that's the best one that I've seen on here so far, is recommending that you bake dessert on there. Because that's one, it took me decades to realize I could have done that. And that's going to be the end of that video from Twisted. Giving them their credit. That was a pretty good video. I'll give you y'all's dues. That's pretty good. Not all those hacks were great. But a good bit of them were pretty good. I think you got a lot out of this episode. Just keep in mind, the most important thing that I think this video does a really good job of encompassing is think outside the box when it comes to your grill. There's more things you can do with it. You can prepare a lot of meals in advance and go ahead and get them cooked in advance. If you are a person who's getting healthier, meal prep, one of the healthiest ways to cook. Granted, there are some carcinogens that are associated with charcoal cooking, but I mean, there's so many other things that, steak itself is a carcinogen, red meat. So I would not worry about that so much. But if you're trying to really get slim for the fall time, get out there, prepare you some kebabs, get you some speedy marinade. We done gave you all kinds of exclusives on this episode.
The player way.
And enjoy your backyard. You heard me? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, and the day has to end at some point. When I call you before the fall, before the autumn, before the pumpkin spice latte season starts, I hope if I ask you what y'all cooking, you're saying you got some barbecue going.